Today, our Sanskrit word is Om, which is the primordial sound, universal vibration. So, when somebody asks you what Om is, it's a universal vibration, it's a primordial sound. It's considered the sound of creation, representing the waking, dreaming, and deep states and the silence beyond. So, the waking is the Ah, the dreaming is Oo, and the deep sleep is So, Aum, waking, dreaming, deep sleep, and then the silence beyond. So it represents the primordial vibration from which creation emerges, encompassing the entire spectrum of sound and consciousness within its three syllables and subsequent silence. The A sound represents waking consciousness in the gross physical world, so everything we experience and see when we're awake. U represents the deep consciousness and the subtle astral realm. So this is when we're in dream state. And then the represents the deep sleep consciousness of the causal realm or pure potential. So when we're in deep sleep, we experience absolute bliss. So this is like the bliss state. And then the silence that follows these three sounds points towards the fourth state called Turiya. This is pure awareness that underlies all changing states of consciousness. So Turiya is kind of a state of enlightenment. Chanting Om is said to harmonize a practitioner with the fundamental vibrations of the universe while also integrating the various levels of their own being. Many practitioners report that regular Om chanting creates a sense of inner harmony and connection to something greater than the individual self, while also serving as a powerful tool for beginning and ending a yoga practice by gathering scattered attention and creating a sacred space. So when did this idea of Om first come into being? There's kind of three ways we can think about it. We can think about it mythologically, scripturally, or historically. So mythologically, or the cosmological view, in the Vedas and Upanishad tradition, Om is eternal. It was not created, but rather it's the sound vibration underlying all existence. So it is the primordial concept. It was the first thing, from this mythological perspective. In the Mandukya Upanishads, which was written 800 BCE, calls Om the imperishable word, Aksara, from which all creation arises. Later, the Mandukya Upanishad, 500 BCE, explicitly describes Om as encompassing all states of consciousness, waking, dreaming, deep sleep, and Turiya. So this idea that Om encompasses everything in consciousness is very old, 2,500 years old. Many Hindu cosmologists say, in the beginning was Om. It's seen as a seed vibration from which the universe manifests. If we look at the scriptures, the Rig Vedas, which were written 1500 to 1200 BCE, while the explicit symbol Om isn't emphasized, the Pranava Om, the sacred sound, is embedded in chants and mantras. The syllable itself was likely used orally in ritual recitation. In the Upanishads, Om becomes more clearly articulated as a central sacred syllable for Brahman, which is our creation, our ultimate reality. In the Bhagavad Gita, around 0 CE, Krishna calls Om the sound form of the absolute. I am Om in the Gita 7.8, right? From a historical or linguistic perspective, Om likely emerged from Udgita, a sacred hum-like intonation used in Vedic chanting. Over time, it was shortened to Om. This is just a theory, but one of them. So that Om is a shorter version of long hum-like chanting. The written symbol Om appears, which we'll go over here just a second, appears in Sanskrit texts around the 2nd century BCE to the 2nd century CE. So especially in Buddhist and Hindu scriptures. So in human history, people began chanting Om at least 3,000 years ago, but the symbol itself became aroused around 2,000 years ago. So you could say that Om is described as eternal and without a beginning in the yogic tradition, but it's a sound of creation itself. But in human terms, it was first chanted 3,000 years ago and formally written down a few centuries BCE. So why Om considered a primordial sound, and does our modern science back this up? So Om is considered a primordial sound in yoga philosophy for, let's say, three main reasons. One, it's a vibration at the root of creation. So the Vedas and Upanishads describe Om as Sabda Brahman, the sound form of ultimate reality. Just as every visible form is a manifestation of energy, every vibration is said to emerge from this root sound. Fourfold structure of consciousness. Om represents all three states of being: waking, dreaming, deep sleep, and turiya. Because nothing exists outside of these states, Om is seen as a complete and universal vibration. So we think about our three bodies that we have: our physical body, energetic body, and then our bliss body. We have waking, dreaming, and deep sleep. These are the states we experience in each body. And then we have turiya. So Om is considered complete because it contains it permeates all three of our bodies and represents all three states, actually all four states, because it also includes turiya. It's a seed syllable, bija mantra. Many mantras begin with Om because it's believed to set the stage, tuning both the practitioner and the environment to the fundamental frequency of existence. So in modern science doesn't confirm that Om itself is a literal first sound of creation, but there are striking parallels. Here we go. The universe began with vibration, right? In Big Bang Theory, the theory, not the show, suggests that the universe began as a massive expansion of energy. Many physicists describe the early universe as sea of vibration. This is how they describe it: fluctuations in the quantum field. NASA's recorded sounds of the universe. So they're recording frequencies, translations of cosmic microwave background radiation. These deep hum-like tones are sometimes poetically compared to Om. So they can measure these hum-like tones. The universe is vibrating at these hum-like tones. I would like to think they're similar to Om. Resonance and harmonics, right? When chanting Om, the sound creates vibrations that resonate in the chest, the throat, and the skull. Medical studies show that chanting Om activates the vagus nerve. So this is going to activate or support relaxation. It's going to activate our parasympathetic response. So this is the rest and digest part of our nervous system. This is the part of our nervous system that's active when we're relaxed. So Om activates the vagus nerve, which activates our parasympathetic response. It's going to relax us. It reduces activity in the amygdala. So this is the fear and stress center. It's going to reduce activity there. And it's going to synchronize brainwave patterns, creating a sense of unity and calm. It's going to synchronize brainwave patterns, and we're going to be in a state of more calm. So less chaos and less bouncing around, and more synchronized patterns. So we're going to have a more sense of unity and calm. This is what science is saying when we chant Om. The universal frequencies. So everything in the universe vibrates at a frequency. Atoms, molecules, stars, everything in the universe. So Om is sometimes described as a symbolic carrier wave of these cosmic vibrations. While science doesn't explicitly endorse Om as a literal origin, it agrees that vibration is fundamental to matter and energy, right? Everything in the universe, vibration, the fundamental thing that allows for this world to be in existence. Without vibration, we have no world. We have no universe. We have no body. We have no anything. So Om is a primordial sound, the vibration from which all creation emerged. Modern science may not say Om, but it does affirm that the universe began in vibration and continues to be a symphony of frequencies. Chanting Om aligns our personal vibration with the universal principle, which may explain why both ancient seers and modern neuroscience find it profoundly balancing. So let's look at the symbolism of the word itself. So this lower curve, the largest one on the bottom left here, represents the waking state. So this is Ah. So when we think about Om, it's Aum, and then silence. This is the first one. Waking state, waking consciousness, the outward facing physical world of matter and senses. This is the world that we think of when we think of the real world. Everything that's physical, our pens, our bodies, our breath, everything that's physical when we're awake. This is what represented here. It's the most active state of awareness, so it's the largest curve. Maybe not in this one, but usually it's the largest curve. The middle curve here represents the dreaming consciousness. So this is the Tejasa, the inner world of imagination, memories, subtle impressions. It's positioned between the waking and deep state, deep sleep. It connects our inner and outer. So this we experience when we're dreaming. So this middle curve. The upper curve, smaller in the upper left. Make sure I'm showing you these, right? So we have the lower, the ah, the ooh, and the aum, om. Here we go. This represents a deep sleep, a state of unmanifest potential where the mind is quiet, undisturbed, but not yet awake. It's smaller. It's less active than the waking and dreaming. And then we have the dot here. This dot represents Turiya, the fourth state of consciousness. Pure consciousness itself. It's beyond waking, dreaming, and deep. It's infinite awareness. The self beyond form. It's our self beyond our manifestation in this world. It's beyond our ego. It's beyond the self. And then this crescent right here, this curve separating the dot from the rest represents Maya, the veil of separation. So Maya is the illusion. It prevents us from recognizing Turiya, the ultimate reality. This curve can be transcended. Maya, the illusion, can be transcended. It's possible to experience ourselves as this Turiya dot, as absolute consciousness itself. So that's just a little bit about the symbol of Om. It's great to learn how to draw this and connect with all three states of consciousness. We connect, or all four states of consciousness, because Turiya is beyond these three states, connects with all three kind of layers of our body. So let's look at 5 reasons to chant Om at the beginning or the end of class. Number 1, we create a sacred space. Om sets boundaries between everyday life and practice. We Om, okay, now we're in this sacred space. Tuning the room, turning the room into a sacred container. It unifies group energy. Everyone's voices blend into one sound, creating connection and a shared intention. It's going to calm and center our mind. It's going to center our being, right? This vibration slows our breath. It quiets scattered thoughts and activates the relaxation response. It tunes us to a universal vibration. The symbol Om symbolizes the sound of creation. Chanting it helps align our personal energy with a larger sense of harmony. And then it can provide closure and integration at the end of class. Beginning with Om helps us fully arrive, and ending with Om seals the practice and carries the peace into daily life. So should we practice 1 or 3 times? So once, it's simple, direct, and grounding. It's useful for shorter practice when time is limited. But if we chant 3 times, this is the traditional way to do it. Symbolic of the 3 states of consciousness, waking, dreaming, and deep sleep. Also represents the body, mind, and spirit being harmonized. And the repetition deepens the resonance and gives a longer time for the nervous system to settle. So it's both more symbolic to do it 3 times, waking, dreaming, and deep sleep, mind, body, spirit, or body, mind, spirit. And a longer time allows us longer integration. So 1 time is powerful, but 3 times is traditional and often more effective at creating the felt shift for a group. So do other traditions use something like Om? Yeah, of course they do, right? So in Christianity, they say, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was God, right? So this is John 1:1. The Word is described as the creative vibration of the divine. Some mystics equate the primordial word with the sound like Om. Islam, the opening sound Al, as in Allah, has a deep resonant quality, right? In Sufi chanting, often repeat divine names rhythmically, creating a vibration state similar to chanting Om. In Judaism, and the Tetragrammaton is considered the unpronounceable divine name, essentially a sound breath rather than a word, right? And Jewish mystics teach that the word was created through the vibration of God's spoken word. And in Taoism or Chinese traditions, the Tao Te Ching begins, the Tao that can be spoken is not the eternal Tao, but still the sound and breath are seen as expressions of the Tao. Sacred syllables like Han and Om Mani Padme Hum, shared in Buddhism, are used for resonance and attunement. And of course in Buddhism, the famous mantra Om Mani Padme Hum, probably heard this one. Om is a universal vibration that sanctifies the mantra, right? In indigenous and shamanic traditions, many Native Americans and indigenous chants begin or circle around a deep droning vowel sound, right? The didgeridoo in Aboriginal traditions in Australia produce a continuous primal vibration, not unlike an extended om, right? So our cultures, the idea of that sound is the origin of creation shows up again and again. Om is in yoga is one expression of the universal principle that vibration is a bridge between the unmanifest and the manifest, the divine and the human.